What's up, my favorite readers on the entire internet? Today I'm going to be talking about a genre that we should all be familiar with: young adult literature. Alright, young adult literature is a genre that we should all be quite familiar with. We should be familiar with young adult novels because they are some of the most popular books of our generation. They're being made into movies and TV shows and movies and TV shows and games and movies and TV shows. We should be familiar with the young adult genre in the very least because it influences and impacts our culture more so than any other genre, I would say. What I actually want to talk about is not the impact that young adult novels actually have, but the importance of the young adult novel itself. Young adult novels really became important because of two works of literature. When we think about the beginnings of the entire young adult genre, we can really pinpoint to two novels that really generated the start of young adult novels. The first is The Catcher in the Rye, a very shitty book by J.D. Salinger. It stood as a very monumental, influential novel because it attracted so many young adults. Another one being Lord of the Flies, which is by a UK writer, William Golding, which is way fucking better than Catcher in the Rye, but that's a different story. And Lord of the Flies is beautiful, and it also attracted a huge young adult market for it. And Lord of the Flies is similar to The Catcher in the Rye in the same sense that it uses these younger characters to actually move a plot and tell a very more complex story at play. And young adults flock to these two books, and when they flock, publishers started to notice something. Kids and young adults were actually going out and buying novels. They started to create these other books, and we see other works start to come out, maybe like The Outsiders, which came out around, I think, the late 60s, and all these other novels started to flood the market until we get to the 70s and 80s, which is the golden era of young adult literature. And young adult literature is important because just like all themes of literature, every piece of literature is about oneself and finding oneself in one's own personal identity. Like Shakespeare tackled identity. He wrote about identity, but he never focused on what identity meant to a young adult who was still finding oneself. That was never a topic that he wrote about. And the main thing that these young adults novels all grasp around, almost every young adult novel is written around this one theme. And the thing about young adult novels is that they tackle identity through the lens of a young adult. What makes young adult novels so much beautiful is its ability to adapt and change and showcase so many diverse ways and thought lines of identity. Some people may call young adult novels light genre or light novels because they're really easy to read and are not as intense as adult novels are, but that doesn't really take away from the meaning and impact that young adult novels actually have. Young adult novels actually help literacy rates. They allow for kids and young adults to actually see themselves in literature, and that makes reading so much more compelling. Young adult novels actually help literacy rates because they allow for kids and young adults to actually see themselves in novels. It makes it so much easier for young adults to actually get into literature and allow them to read and become lifelong readers. And for the publishing industry, this means they get lifelong consumers. For us, it is a win-win situation. Young adult novels allows for political themes to become a lot more easier to understand. They're broken down. We see like the Hunger Games. It is about a large group of people who feel oppressed and they're fighting back. It is these small political themes that we're able to wrap around a very innocent story that makes them feel so much more impactful. William Golding's Lord of the Flies, which I mentioned earlier, it's about these kids who are trapped on an island after, I believe, their plane crashed on the island, or it's a boat. I forgot how they get there. They're trapped on the island. Just bear with me. And since they're on this island, you would think on surface level it is about these kids who are just on an island. Yeah, yippee. But it is so much more than that. It's about humankind at its very essence, at its very base, without civilization, without knowledge, without scientific reason, because they kill that midway through the book, allows for us to tell kids very large and very impactful stories while also making it very interesting. And when young adults are reading novels that are about being young adults and finding their own identity, as we see large, more diverse young adult novels coming out, some of them being part of the LGBTQ community, some of them being about black people, some of them being about Hispanics and Latinos. It is just beautiful because so many readers can now put themselves into the actual novels. And this normalizes behaviors that young adults may think they're facing alone. Through young adult novels, we're able to capture suicide and depression and so many other mental illnesses through young adult novels by talking about them through a young adult's personal point of view. And this allows for young adult readers to then see this and know that they're not alone, that other people are actually facing this. And this is why young adult novels are so important to today's society. And that's why I love young adult literature. It is very fascinating. It is always moving forward. It is very progressive, and it is very diverse. The huge asterisk next to that very diverse part, by the way. Just let me know down below in the comment section your own thoughts and opinions on young adult novels. I would love to hear them. There's a huge hiatus between this video and my last video because I was moving into a new apartment and I took a lot of free time off of my hand, but I am back and I'll be getting you guys probably every other day bi-daily videos. Thanks for watching. Keep your heads up high and expectations great. Hey you have been nominated to watch even more of my videos clicking one of these little hovering alien buttons right over here in this direction, or you can go big and hit the jackpot by hitting that little subscribe button right over there ish, somewhere over here, I don't know, like somewhere over here, there, click it